good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome and thank you so very much for joining us. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Stippo. How are you? How are you all? Hi, Patty. How are you? Great. Fantastic. Hi, Laurie. Let me know in the chat where you're connecting to us from. So where are you right now? Let me know if you are brand new to the Positive Prime community. Let me know what it is that you're looking to, hoping for, achieving. And so here we are in our fantastic group Zoom recording. That's my husband quickly moving back and forth behind me. But he's just closed the door to my office, so there we go. This is for you. So this is really about me being here. It could be me or it could be another Positive Prime guide on occasion. And we're here to serve you, to help you, to uplift you, to inspire you, to entertain you, to educate you. Basically, it's to help you really understand how Positive Prime can serve you in solving some of your issues or in helping you to really harness some of the opportunities that are coming your way. And ultimately, it's your questions that get the best value out of this. And if you would like me to do a quick whip around, almost like a tour of Positive Prime, I'm happy to do that. So, excellent. Laurie, you're in CA, that's California in the United States of America, isn't it? Because you can tell I'm an Aussie. So is CA, so nod for me. Is that California? Yeah. All righty.
Yes,
yeah, Patty Krummer here. Patty is one of our executives, one of our leaders, one of our shining stars here at Positive Prime. We're so very, very blessed to have her here today. Rosie, you're from Chicago. I recognize your name.
Yeah.
I know you. So that's wonderful you're joining us. Alrighty. Laurie, nod for me if you would like me to do a very quick tour of Positive Prime so that you know what's here for you to actually leverage in terms of the software. Hi, Martha. How are you?
As long as everybody else who has been here all this time doesn't mind the little wayward.
Do you know, Laurie? I love you already. How thoughtful and considerate of you to actually think about whether anybody or everybody minds. And I don't think that anybody minds whatsoever. Every single time I do one of these presentations each week, and there are other opportunities for all of our Positive Prime community members, people learn something new. Which only goes to actually indicate that Positive Prime is so much more than meets the eye. Let me do some screen sharing, shall we? Now, Zoom was playing up for me a little bit before, so I might freeze. And if I do, I'm sorry. It was being a bit weird. I have a feeling that the iOS update actually may have created some issues for the actual software. All righty, so I'm just going to put everybody on mute for a moment. And then if you've got any questions, please do write them in the chat. All righty, so it's really important as the observer, that's you being aware and awakened to how you are feeling now. This is a drop-in that serves you. And so what I'm going to suggest that you do is that you actually do record how you're feeling before and after. Now, I'm pretty happy and I'm actually feeling really powerful today. There's a whole heap of reasons why, but anyway, let's see if we can improve on that. This is what we call a super mix. Whoa, look at this. Oh, okay, because I'm the owner, I'm the founder and the creator and the inventor of Positive Prime, I'll tell you something really interesting. Our team of computer programmers and developers and software engineers often use my account to do all the testing with. And so I find myself logged out when I least expect it, which is hilarious, like right now. And so they have probably no idea I'm actually doing a presentation. So let me just log back in, shall we? And get going again. I love that.
I can't hear anybody.
Can't you? You can't hear me speaking? I would dare say you need to turn your volume up. And if you can't hear me, then you can't hear me saying this either. So Patty, maybe you could actually let Elizabeth know that maybe she wants to turn up her volume. Perhaps she's on an iPad or an iPhone. Well, somebody else can type in. That'd be wonderful if you could do that. I'm glad that she popped out. All righty. So I am an expert in Positive Prime, so I probably don't need to go through the tutorial, but you know, if you're new, I'm going to encourage you to actually go through this. There's of course a little message there. You can see I'm a little different to that image in person. This is of course after I've been to the hairdressers and had my hair done beautifully. But this is me sitting here in this office. Quick little message. This is actually very interesting workshop that I did. It is long. It's very long, but I promise you it's really valuable and you will learn so much by watching this particular workshop, harnessing your change genius within. And then there's this really great PDF guide. So if I click that, it's just going to open up a new tab. I would highly recommend that you actually do go through this document. We want you to get the most out of this. We really do. We really want you to get the most out of Positive Prime. So back here. And then I'm going to tell you something interesting about Positive Prime. Its formula is very, very intricate. It's very complex. It's extraordinary. It's amazing. And what it does is it accelerates learning for you, and it actually allows you as a human being to learn in a new way. And so on this particular page that is really over here in the getting started area, once you first logged in, this is a session, and what's fascinating is that the session actually does teach you, let me just put the music off there. The session actually teaches you that which you need to know to make the most out of Positive Prime. Now, Positive Prime sessions, every single one of them has at least 1,000 flashcards or frames, let's call it that. It's not a movie, it's not a video. And it's not even a slideshow, because every single time you press play, we reshuffle the entire deck. So there's a different sequence and a different order every single time you press play on exactly the same program. And what I want you to imagine is that every single Positive Prime session is almost like the author, the creator, is communicating and connecting directly with you. It's almost like a very powerful coaching session, a guidance session. And some of us go to therapists and counselors and social workers and life coaches, and we'll spend anywhere between, let's just say, $100 an hour or $300 an hour. Or if you go to a really elite high level coach like me, you might go into a mastermind that's, you know, $20,000 or $50,000 a year. So what we do in a Positive Prime session is that the person who has created is transferring their energy. They're actually allowing you to tap in to what is on offer from their wisdom, their brilliance. It's their suggestions, their advice. It's what they want you to actually integrate into your other than consciousness as seeds planted there that nurture and nourish you and allow you to learn and transform and grow and emerge and evolve. Okay, so every single Positive Prime session actually has a range of images. Those photographs are carefully curated for precise reasons, because what they do is they put your brain in a certain state, your mind in a certain state of beingness that connects with your heart. And there's actually this incredible process going on inside your entire body. For those of you who have or have not heard of, you might want to go and Google psychoneuroimmunology. And it's about how our positive emotions actually boost our ability to be well and to thrive and to flourish from a physical point of view. So every single Positive Prime session has these particular photographs, and what they do is that they actually allow you to be in a state where you'll actually learn more, you'll comprehend more, and you'll be able to retain more, and you'll actually be able to recall more. And this has been scientifically proven. I'll give you an example. When you see photographs with these genuine and sincere smiles, they're smiles that are natural, they're smiles that are real. You actually process that photograph. Your eyes, or in particular the retina in your eyes, actually sees those smiles, and it sends messages up into your brain, into your mirror neurons, and they actually help to send a message to your body, and your endocrine system or hormonal system starts to produce more serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin, these neurotransmitters that allow you to be more resourceful and more creative and make better quality decisions, and to change and to modify your behaviors and to take more actions, and really to upgrade your behaviors and your habits and so forth. And so there's something rather fascinating, is that when we put together these particular, let's call them collection of photographs for you, there is a certain ratio of what we would call Duchenne smiles. Now, when you see those, your brain actually doesn't know whether you are smiling or not. That's the curious thing. It thinks you're smiling. And so your body starts to produce the chemical cocktail as if you were smiling. And that is very healthy for you. Very, 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 very healthy for you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It's quite phenomenal. Now, there's other things that start to happen when you see photographs that really have you awestruck. So when you are in awe, you're appreciating, you're thinking, wow, that's exquisite. When you allow yourself to have that experience, you actually improve your immune functioning. And I could go on and on and on and on and on, as I like to do, for hours and hours and hours, about all of the individual ingredients in the formula for each of the photographs that we actually choose, why we choose them, and how we choose them. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that if you watch this particular session, right, we're actually teaching you through the session. So that's what happens with all of the sessions. We're actually teaching you through the session. So let's go back here. We'll finish this. I'll stop sharing for a second. And if there's any questions, I'll just quickly go back to have a little look. Martha from Melbourne, Australia. Awesome. Okay, any questions, do feel free. Should I go back to the screen sharing again? Why not? Is this helpful, Laurie? Have you actually already learned something new? Nod for me, because I can see you in the group if that's true. Alrighty, so on with the tour. We're back here at our dashboard. Our dashboard is like your home screen inside this really amazing piece of software. Okay, so you're logged in, you go to dashboard. Over here in the top right-hand corner is actually, should be your own name. This is for your account. And if you click, it'll actually give you some options. So just so that everybody is really clear, if you are one of our gorgeous community members, and so, you know, to us, you're very precious, you are paying either $199 a year or $19 a month. And if so, you're allowed to invite up to 4 other people, and they can share, and they have equal functionality rights. So they too can personalize their sessions, which is really interesting. Now, if they want to invite for other people themselves, they easily go over here to upgrade account. Let me just quickly explain what happens when you invite others. First of all, of course, you really want to have a meaningful conversation with somebody. You want to tell them what you know about Positive Prime and why you are actually benefiting from it and what the advantages are. You might want to inspire them to give it a go. And so you will send an email. Well, actually, the system does that automatically for you. You enter their email address and it actually generates an email and it goes to them. And when they click the link, they can actually go and create their own account. The invitation is actually valid for only 2 weeks. It expires after that. And so if they haven't taken action immediately, you might need to resend the invite. So if you need to do that, please resend the invite just by clicking on these 3 little buttons over, or 3 little dots over here. Now, you might actually invite somebody who doesn't really appreciate how generous you're being. And sometimes that does happen in life. You know how there are times when you really want for others something that they don't even really want for themselves. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink. You know all of these things. So if you need to rescind one of the invites, please feel free to do that over here. And then you can actually extend your invite to somebody else. We have people who actually have sales teams, or we have therapists and coaches who have patients or clients, and they want to actually show Positive Prime, and they want to give somebody, like, let's just say, a week's trial or 4 weeks experience or something like that. So after you've given someone 4 weeks of getting to know and use and benefit from Positive Prime, you might suggest to them that they go and upgrade their account, in which case they end up with their own account and they're paying. Now, if you do that, let's just go back to the invites area. The reality is that you will then have their position available for you to actually send another invite. Or you could actually say to them, look, I'm going to give you a month's, and then I'm going to retract the invite. And so that might actually then encourage them to go and upgrade their account. Obviously, you want them to upgrade their account before you retract the invite. If you're being kind, what do you think? All right, so in here, I also really want to let you know that there are some bonuses for you. So I clicked on bonuses over in that menu. And if you have not yet taken advantage of this particular program, I would love you to take advantage of this particular program. This is a great course that Patty and I taught. It actually brings to life the wisdom, the insights, the exquisite knowings that are shared in the very famous book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, it has been modernized by James Whitaker, and James Whitaker is the person featured here to the left, and he actually wrote The Legacy. It's a new version of the Think and Grow Rich content. And also down here, there are other bonuses available to you from some of our Positive Prime guides. So let's just have a look here. This is Audrey Weidman, and I'm going to do an example of this. So Audrey, let's go back up here. And let's just say you want to know who Audrey is and you want to get a feeling. Do you like Audrey? Do you want to follow her? Do you want to take advantage of that? So in the search button up here, you can put in AUD. That'll immediately bring up Audrey Weidman. Now, she is a health coach. She's an amazing woman, lives in Chicago, actually. This is her session about healing your heart. It's a wonderful session. And so just press play. But what I'm going to say to you before you even ever press play, let's just go back here. You can speed it up or slow it down. So maybe in the beginning, you want to speed it up so that your conscious mind and your subconscious mind doesn't actually resist. Some of your self-sabotaging behaviors and some of your limiting beliefs will actually prevent you from being able to acquire new knowledge that could empower you or enrich you. And so the faster you go, the more you actually bypass that aspect of you. You can make it full screen, as I usually do, right? And so I would suggest that you watch every single session on varying speeds. On speed 1, let me just share the music for a second. let's explain. I'm just going to turn the music off so you can hear. This is Audrey coaching me through a positive prime session. And the formula makes this very, very interesting. It's profound. It's very powerful. And what's happening is that the very essence of Audrey's kind suggestions, her wisdom, her advice is actually inside this particular session. So I could ordinarily go and pay Audrey anywhere between $100 and $300 to have an actual coaching session with her. Or indeed, I could watch Positive Prime from her, and this is her very best advice. These are her best suggestions. This is her sharing with you her heart and soul's knowing, right? And what's fascinating about this is that my brain can actually receive and use the actual wisdom when my identity is integrated. Now, let me explain how our brains really work. When I see a photograph of myself or something that is meaningful and significant to me, I actually have my energy wrap around the content and I can actually allow it in. It's almost like I'm giving myself permission to really settle into and savor and have every cell in my body satiated by these messages. And so it's really important that you personalize every single Positive Prime session that you watch. It's the personalizing that is critical to how incredible this is. All right. So now that I've said that, let's just quickly go here and I'm going to pause it. And let's just say I really want to now go upload some of my own personal sessions in there. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard for a second. I do feel a little bit better already. I'm going to go here to Audrey's again, and it's here where you personalize. And what you're actually going to see is I've uploaded so many photographs. I've uploaded photographs in 3 categories: me and what's meaningful and significant to me, what I'm grateful for, and my visions, my aspirations, and my goals. So that's 3 categories. And so what's interesting is that first you want to upload lots of photographs that are about you. So photographs about you. I'm going to show you here. Can you actually see here? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There is a photograph here of me graduating. Now, that was a long time ago, many decades ago. This is my undergraduate degree at business school. And so when I actually upload this photograph and I click it and then I go to press play, that image is going to actually appear inside. Now, this is me on my local beach not so long ago. This is actually the front cover of my best-selling book. This is actually a photograph of me at Rishikesh for the Diwali festival, the light festival in northern India. I was up in the Himalayas. I was training some Ayurvedic doctors. This is actually a diamond necklace I don't own. I would like to, or I could be gifted it, any which way. This is a photograph of my mom. This is me at a gala or gala. This is me with Mike Dooley from Notes of the Universe. This is actually a beautiful frangipani tree that's in my garden. And so what I would say is go take photographs that are meaningful, significant to you. Now, interestingly enough, let's go to the last page. You can see I've got 174 pages of images. This is me at an event. Let me go back here. Now you can see that these are already clicked, which means they're already going to show up. This is me with Marcy Shimoff. Have you heard of Happy for No Reason or Chicken Soup for the Women's Soul? This is Marcy Shimoff. This is me with my mom. I've got a great photo of me with my dad. This is me when I lived in Paris. This is me with Jack Canfield. This is my signature. This is me with my niece. Anyway, now I'm going to go and press play. And so the photographs that you upload, and I'm going to do, I'm happy. The photographs that you upload literally give this an exponential power. There is actually a phenomenon called reminiscence therapy that's also really interesting for people who have Alzheimer's, or people, those who are living with dementia. When we actually have our other than consciousness connecting with memories, something remarkable happens inside our bodies. Something remarkable happens inside of our brains, and we remind ourselves that we are blessed and we are fortunate and we are lucky. I would say, did you see there was the diamond necklace? All right. Did you notice that? So what I actually selected is also appearing in here. If you have a vision board, this is phenomenally better and it'll bring it to life. And I'm going to tell you something really interesting about our formula and about our reshuffling effect. So let's just say I want that diamond necklace. Okay. And I've uploaded a photograph of it. I've gone to Google Images and I found a photograph of a diamond necklace that I really want, or diamond pendant for a necklace. Now, if I love birds and I have been to Africa, and that's actually interesting. I would love to go to that light festival. Or if I love meditating, what's actually happening is that I'm connecting with these images and I'm applying, it's like there's this beautiful bridge of energy that is actually now being attached to that diamond necklace. So if I've ever been to India, which I have, by the way, my memory, my vibrancy, my frequency, my resonance, it recognizes that and it attaches this knowingness to that diamond necklace and it helps to manifest it. When we have images, like I'll give you an example. This is interesting. That's a nautilus shell, right? On one of the templates. I actually live in a house that won an architectural award at the national level some 30 plus years ago. And it is literally a nautilus shape. The Fibonacci series, the actual mathematics for the architecture of the home that I live in, Cameron and I deliberately, consciously purchased this particular property because the house was a nautilus shell. And because there is magic and magnificence in that. There is divine energy and healing and intelligence in that. Well, every single time I see a nautilus shell, it actually binds me to the content. Does that make sense? It binds me to the content because I have a connection with nautilus shells. Does that make sense? Alrighty, so let me go back and let me have a look. Alrighty, so I upload photographs from my iPhone. I just go around taking photographs, maybe something in my garden, maybe it's a gift I've been given. And if I take photographs of gifts that I've been given that I love, guess what? I'm sending messages to the universe. And I'm also reminding myself that I am loved and I am supported. And quite frankly, life gives me gifts and that brings me into resonance with more gifts. I've just got to be open to receiving them and appreciating them. So I literally find photographs online. I just right click them and I save them as JPEGs. I get photographs from my iPhone. I've actually downloaded an app someone told me about. I think it was, gosh, I can't even remember. And it allowed me to scan really old photographs from my childhood. And then from inside the app, I could email those photographs. And so I emailed them to myself and then I saved them and then I uploaded them from my computer. It's really, really rather amazing. So quite frankly, it works perfectly. If you know how to email a photo of as an attachment and you're having technical difficulties, we actually do have a service. Mayumi can organize for one of the people in her team to actually personalize your positive prime sessions for you. Maybe they'll choose being happier. And we actually do call it our concierge service. It's usually only ever available to our annual members as a bonus gift. But if you would like that service and your life, your dreams, your gratitude journal, your vision board, if that's important to you, then quite frankly, I think you'll really be inclined towards our concierge service. So our ability to do that creative work for you and quite frankly, just get in touch with Mayumi. I think it's super affordable as well. Like I think it's about $47 or $49 for that service. And that's one of the gifts that is available if you are actually an annual member. As an annual member, there are extra bonuses. And if you're a monthly member, you can actually cancel your monthly membership and you can just sign up as an annual member and you can actually receive it as a gift. Or if you want to stay as a monthly member, that's okay. Of course, just reach out to Mayumi. So that's support@positiveprime.com. That's support@positiveprime.com. And I would say make sure that in the subject, you say, I am looking at the service that is for personalizing my sessions. It's actually called the concierge service. So we can be your concierge and organize that for you. And that really means that all you need to do is email us some photographs. You could also write in an email, hey, these are some of the things that I would like. I'd like to go to Patagonia hiking. And so our team will actually go and gather photographs of hiking in Patagonia and actually upload them into your session for you. And you can make up to 50 of these requests. So they will actually go and do that work for you, at least 50 Google searches to find amazing images and images that will be private and personal to you, and we'll upload them into your collection. Does that make sense? All righty. Fantastic. Now, this particular gathering is supposed to be a quick 30 minutes and answering some very specific questions. One of the questions people often ask is, I'm dealing with this, which session should I watch? All righty. So I'm dealing with, now ask the question and I will tell you which session I would recommend that you watch. Is there something that you really want a breakthrough in? Is there some area of your life you really want to shift in? This is your moment. Okay. Thank you so much for being so honest and sharing with us that you've been dealing with anxiety. So let me just quickly share the screen for you. As actual subscribers, we have these things called super mixes that are available to our subscribers. Now, what super mixes are is actually a couple of sessions and they're together. And so you'll see there is this beautiful melting of several sessions into one giant session. So you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. If you are dealing with anxiety, first of all, I would ask you about what in particular, and this is probably my go-to session. So the super mix that is emotional healing. And let's just say I'm feeling tired because often anxiety really does exhaust us. This is going to take a long time to load. So this is going to stay here for quite a long time. But let me just go a little bit slowly. And I'm going to explain to you a super mix. Alrighty, so in a super mix, I'll just turn that music off for a second. I'll mute that. See, this is Transcending Trauma by Dr. Diane Shelton, an amazing session. So her session is in here. And see this, Conscious Recovery by Sherry Garber, an amazing therapist. She specializes actually in addictions. So both of their sessions are found individually within the platform, but here they're together and I see a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I'm actually going to see some others. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit so I can show you some of the other sessions that are in here. If you are experiencing, so this one is called Insight. I didn't even catch that. Did you see how fast that was? Who was that? Oh, I'm off on another tangent. If you are feeling anxious about something in particular, so let's just say you're actually really worried about your financial situation and you absolutely want to earn more income. Oh, that's a journey through grief by Elizabeth Bradley. Incredible, incredible, incredible session. So that one's included in here as well. Let me just go a little bit faster and see what else is here. So those 3 sessions are mixed and merged. And then there's a session that I created called Allowing, Surrendering and Letting Go. That's actually integrated into here. And sometimes just letting go and letting God is the best thing to do. Sometimes taking a nice big deep breath in and breathing out very slowly in through your nose and out through your mouth, and making sure that all of that oxygen actually fills up your stomach or your belly. So these diaphragmatic breaths, that can actually really help you. Anxiety changes the way you breathe. And if you're actually breathing and it's really shallow, it actually sends messages to your brain that actually makes the anxiety even worse. So sometimes just breathing really slowly and really as deeply as you can and in through your nose and out through your mouth is one of the smartest things that you can be doing. Oftentimes, though, if you're experiencing anxiety, you don't necessarily have the mindset that reminds you to be breathing really slowly and really fully. That's one of the miracles of Positive Prime. All you have to do is actually put it on and press play, and it works. It actually does it to you. It really does. And so it's quite incredible. All you have to do is watch Positive Prime, and it actually works for you. And if you've got photographs that are uploaded, particularly of your family or of your pets, and or really amazing memories that you have, you're really giving yourself great service. So let's just say I'm watching this, and I've actually just, I've told you about increasing income. And so nothing's going to play here. I actually have to get out of here. I'm going to skip this particular session. Focus on increasing income. What I have found for a lot of my clients, and certainly that has worked for me, is when you can take some tiny, 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 tiny little baby steps, little steps, little steps, just a little step in the right direction for the right reasons, you can actually alleviate a lot of the anxiety that you're experiencing. And so being proactive is really an interesting strategy for dealing with anxiety. So let's just say you're feeling anxious about your financial situation. Well, I'm going to argue that one of the things that you want to do is you want to focus on increasing your income, and you want to allow for this to actually inspire you to take a tiny step, just one tiny step, and then the next tiny step, and then the next tiny step. And slowly but surely, it will have a cumulative effect. And then you'll have some exponential results, just one tiny little step. And if I was you, I would actually focus on watching these sessions at least once through on speed 1. And you can see that this will take an hour. I don't have an hour. Very rarely do I have an hour up my sleeve. And so what I might do is I might watch this on speed 1 just for 5 minutes. And once I've actually really calmed down over that 5 minutes, I can then actually just X out of it. I can just get out of it, and maybe I move on with my day, or I go back to the dashboard and I actually watch something else. I'm going to encourage you yet again to go back to the getting started area and go through the really extensive workshop where I offer you all of the access to the reasons as to why Positive Prime really works. Here's the other thing I'm going to give to you, because we're in this chat area. If you want to understand the elements of Positive Prime, how and why it works, and I'll give you an example. If you actually really want to understand what Dr. Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory has to do with Positive Prime, we actually go through and we give you all of the elements of how is it that Positive Prime works, why is it working, and so the elements of our formula are actually discussed through that link. So you're here right now. So let's go and have a look at these, fantastic ingredients that are a part of our formula. I will tell you that if nothing else, go to the happiness page and do yourself a favor and go and watch Sean Acor's TED Talk. It's incredible, and it's on our happiness page, and this is his TED Talk. I highly recommend it. And this is actually what Sean says about Positive Prime. So I think that you'll find that incredible, absolutely incredible. The messages are uplifting, really uplifting. Is there anything else you'd like me to know? Any other question that you have? can see Laurie's come back to the screen. Laurie, do you have a specific issue you'd like me to address?
I've been listening to you, but I'm cooking dinner too, so, but I've been listening
That's
to
okay.
it. I thought it was going to be more of a, you were going to give us information about, you know, just, I thought it was more like a session or something, and then you would give us this information that you know. I didn't realize that you were going to give us like a preview of the app.
Okay, so you thought this was more like coaching?
Yes, sort of, kind of, yeah, like the kind of like a preview of what you guys could do, or how, you know, how it works, but not necessarily, you know, the screenshots of the apps.
Okay, great. So, well, now you know there's over 120 of those coaching programs that we call a positive prime session, and you have access to really an amazing array of wisdom that is shared by those positive prime sessions. And they're on almost every subject that you can imagine with respect to your finances, your health and well-being, with respect to becoming fitter, with respect to your nutritional needs. There is actually an enormous amount that is available to each and every one of our subscribers. And I think that what's important is that you understand the science behind one of our incredible positive prime sessions, which is like you sitting there with the coach and having that available for you 24/7. Alrighty, so thank you so very much for everybody coming. As you know, we actually have lots of other recordings of these sessions where people have come out and shared with us a real obstacle they're facing, something that's really upsetting them, and we've suggested clients sessions. So someone's, you know, new to being a full-time carer, and there's a great session from Donna Harmony Jones called Caring for the Caregiver. There's somebody who is in a new leadership role, and I would suggest one of Laura Scott's leadership sessions. Patty, you're here. Is there any session that you've been watching over the last couple of days that you found fantastic and has helped you to feel expanded and lighthearted?
I wouldn't say this one has helped me to feel expanded and lighthearted, but definitely expanded. And it's the new one that we launched called Cracking Your Learning Code. It's a really interesting mix of some scientific images like DNA strands and synapses and some beautiful images. So I really do like that one. And I love watching all the new ones because it always amazes me that no matter how many sessions we have, no two authors put their sessions together in the same way, because they have their unique messages and they have images that they want to build that around that are special to them. So I'm in awe of that. Every single time I watch a new session, I'm in awe of its own uniqueness and a message back to myself. When I want to feel uplifted, I honestly watch what's it called, Kim? One of my favorite ones by Jackie. We are all one, something like that. I go to that one because it uplifts me when there's negative news and stuff around. They just feel that sense of community that is overpowering.
There we go.
Watch that one also is really special to me, and they're pretty different. One is very focused on, you know, people, and one is very focused on our natural world. And I just simply love both of them for different reasons.
That's fantastic, Patty. Yes, We Are One by Jackie Maffenbauer. She's a Canadian. She spent many years studying in the inner circle with Neil Donald Walsh, of course, the creator of Conversations with God. So is there anyone here who has anything that they would like to add? Is there a favorite session that is really helping you? And if so, what is it and why? I would dare say that your insights are really valuable for the other people who are here. So does anybody want to unmute themselves and come on out and say, hey, I'm watching this session and I thought this was great. I love it. You're invited to do so.
Hi, can I please say something? Hello, can you hear
Sure,
me?
Martha.
Oh,
We
hi.
can.
Oh, thank you so much, Kim. The sessions, I love watching all the sessions, but my favorite one is I Am Me. I think it's on healing. I Am Me, and I tried to pause it so I can see the little quotes. Yeah, and that one helps me out a lot. I really love it, and I really love watching. I haven't finished watching all the videos yet, but yeah, but I will definitely get to it to watch all of them.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so there is one called I Am Enough by Marissa Peer.
Oh yes, that's the one. That's the one. I Am Enough. Sorry, I Am Enough.
I love it because do you know what? It helps me to understand that you've actually started to integrate that content, that you actually thought it was called I Am Me, means that you actually have literally had the I Am Enough message now embedded into your beingness. And so
Yes.
absolutely keep watching that, Martha. It's working. It's working.
Yeah. Working. Oh, I really love watching that one. I think I watched it like 3 or 4 times now.
Fantastic. All righty.
Yeah.
Well, you could be like me and you could watch a couple of these sessions. Do you know, on some Saturdays, I will sit down and I will watch 10 sessions in a row on the fastest speed, each one of them. It's almost like I'm flooding myself and my other than consciousness. And it's like a self-love ritual for me.
Sorry, so what's the difference between like the slow one and the fast one? Which one shall I watch? Like mainly watch the fast one or the slow one?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. Excellent question, Martha. I would say both. Sometimes our nervous system needs the slower pace. I would say do what feels comfortable to you. Now, having said that, I think you also want to watch the sessions on a faster speed. Let's just say speed 8 or 9, particularly if you've got some stubborn, self-sabotaging, incredibly limiting beliefs in a particular area. So some people literally honestly think that there's something wrong with them, like what's wrong with me, or nothing ever works out for me. And so they have this whole story in their head about all the things that have gone wrong in their lives. I was talking to someone about this the other day. You know, we as human beings are really curious creatures. Some of us have terrible, terrible, terrible relationships, and yet we're still open to finding the kind of love that is only available with an honest relationship that blossoms over time with somebody who's like our soulmate. I can see my video went off. So the interesting thing is that some of us are still open to going and finding true lasting love. And some of us have become so bitter by the bad experiences that we've had that we can't even have enough faith that it could actually work out. And so if you have a really stubborn self-sabotaging belief in that particular area, then what you might want to do with the particular session that's called Romance and Intimacy is that you might want to watch that one day on a slower speed, the next day on a super fast speed, one day on a slower speed, one day on a super fast speed. You want to vary it because you want to access the levels of your brain, your conscious, your subconscious, and your other than conscious, right? And your super conscious. And you can only access your super conscious if it's going really, really fast. And so you need to plant new empowering and enriching beliefs in your super consciousness. And if you actually are in vibrational alignment. Now, how do you get into vibrational alignment? Usually when it's slow, if you can allow yourself to feel as if you're feeling what you're seeing. I'll give you an example. There might be a photograph of diving into a warm pool. If you can actually imagine vividly you actually diving into a warm pool. If you can feel what that feels like in your imagination on your skin, and you can feel how lightweight you feel when you're floating, when you can actually resonate at that level, you're in vibrational alignment with the images. Now, it's the same, for example, with romance and intimacy. You might actually really want to imagine how you would actually feel if you were in that loving embrace. How would you feel if you were respected? How would you feel if you were listened to? How would you feel if you were being hugged? How would you feel if you were actually experiencing a passionate kiss? And the more that you feel these things, the more you're in vibrational alignment with it. Now, often you need to watch it on a slower speed in order to feel the feelings. It's the emotions that bring to life, right? It's the emotions that actually help you to have a real breakthrough when you're trying to deal with these beliefs that could otherwise be self-sabotaging or very limiting. All righty.
All
So,
right. Thank you, Kim.
yeah, it's my pleasure. I hope that's helped.
Yeah,
Mwah.
it helps. Yeah, and it helps with all the videos. I've been watching them, like, because I feel a little bit guilty last night because I watched it and then I fell asleep. Then I said, "Oh, am I supposed to do this, or am I supposed to just watch the whole thing before I fall
No.
asleep?" Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's very uplifting and very positive. So so there's no time limit. I can watch like how many sessions a day,
You
whatever
can-
I want.
I mean, I would say, because it's so powerful, you're probably best off watching about 3 sessions a day, about 3 times a day, if you're wanting to create massive shifts in your life, right? So that would be a maximum of 9 sessions a day.
All right.
Now, having said that, consistency is where you actually allow your full potential to blossom. And so I'll just tell you the truth. Over the last couple of years, there will be weeks where I never miss watching at least a couple of sessions a day. And then there can be a week or two. Because I should probably explain to you, Positive Prime has really only been alive and available as this awesome platform for consumers anywhere and everywhere in the world for about just over 2 years. So for a couple of years prior to that, I had still invented the actual formula and the system and the experience that is actually called a Positive Prime session. In fact, the first one that I invented was over 10 years ago. And I started sharing it with some of the other transformational leaders that I knew, people like Jack Canfield and Marcy Shimoff and, you know, Dr. Paul Shealy and so forth. And so when Positive Prime was not the company that is the offer, that is the availability to everyone on the planet right now, there would actually be a couple of weeks where I might not watch a session, but I would notice slowly but surely my vibrancy start to dull, and my ability to make really good quality decisions that I was comfortable with seemed to diminish. And so what I would do is I would dive back in again, and I'd watch quite a lot of sessions for some days in a continuing manner. It's almost like I then gave myself that booster shot. And so I certainly have now spoken to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, you know, Positive Prime community members. And so I've heard all sorts of stories. I've heard that there are people who actually, like me, there have been times where I'll put on a super mix and I'll put it down on speed 1 and it'll be playing in the room from the quantum physics point of view for hours and hours and hours. I have also watched Positive Prime sessions by jumping on a rebounder on a mini trampoline, and that has a, you know, even more advantageous effect than just sitting there and watching it. I would say do whatever honors you, where you're at right now with whatever it is that you're dealing with. And we all go in these ebbs and flows. That's life. There are seasons for a reason. So sometimes we're harvesting and sometimes we're in incubation. Do what honors you with where you're at, with how serious you are about your goals.
All right. Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Wow. All right, ciao.
Thank
And I
you.
can see here Rosie has added that she loves Unlimited Potential by Bruce Barnes. It is a fantastic session, isn't it? It is indeed. All right, so that's enough. I've gone well and truly way over. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Do feel free to go back and have a look at some of the others. It is interesting, isn't it? Let me give you the link in the chat. There's more than enough goodness here to support you. You could always reach out to Mayumi as well if you wanted one-on-one coaching with me. I'm probably more expensive than most, but I think I'm more valuable than most too. So my ability to heal and my ability to provide you with exactly what it is that your soul needs to hear and see and feel is pretty amazing. We have other Positive Prime coaches as well. So get in touch with us if you want some extra support. We love you. We'll speak to you soon. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.